Welcome to Advanced Timing Scenarios. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to combine timing points to create realistic player movement, coordinate multiple players, and build more advanced drill sequences. We'll start with 3 players lined up along the boards, each with a puck placed to their right. We also have a coach positioned in the middle to receive and return passes, with player 4 ready for the final part of the drill. Move each puck onto the player's stick so all 3 players are ready to begin. With the setup complete, switch to the Action tab. Select player 1. The Take action is now available, so click Take to give the player possession of the puck. Do the same for player 2. We'll come back to player 3 in a moment and use a slightly different technique. Notice that the Take action appears on the timeline at 0.1 seconds. We want player 1 to begin skating at 0.5 seconds, so we'll create a short delay before his first skating action. Add 2 timing points, then drag the second timing point to 0.5 seconds. This creates a short waiting period before the player starts moving. Now create player 1's skating route. Once player 1 is in position to pass, select Pass, then click the coach to complete the pass. Since this is a give and go, the coach will return the puck with a one-touch pass. Move player 1 farther up the ice toward the red line so he receives the return pass while continuing through the neutral zone. The timing here is important. Position the player at the correct distance so he receives the puck on time without speeding up or slowing down. Once player 1 receives the puck, continue his route through the neutral zone, over the blue line, and into the shooting area. Next, select Shoot, click the net, and choose the shot type. In this example, we'll use a slap shot. After shooting, continue the skating route so player 1 stops beside the net. Before moving on, let's preview the animation. Switch to the Play tab, select 3D view, then press play. Player 1 waits briefly, takes the puck, starts skating at 0.5 seconds, completes the give and go with the coach, takes a slap shot, and stops beside the net. Everything looks correctly synchronized. Now, let's make the sequence even more realistic. Switch back to the Action tab. Player 1 reaches the side of the net at 11.14 seconds. But instead of moving immediately, we'll have him wait for about 1 second before backing into a rebound position. Add 2 timing points at the end of player 1's route, then move the second timing point about 1 second later. This creates a pause where the player remains stationary. Next, select backward skating and move the player backward to the edge of the face-off circle. Finally, reduce the skating speed to around 10 kilometers per hour. New skating actions are created at 20 kilometers per hour by default, so lowering the speed makes this movement look much more natural. Now let's prepare player 2 to move up in line after player 1 leaves. Player 2 already takes the puck at 0.1 seconds, but we don't want him to move immediately. Add 2 timing points, then drag the second timing point to around 1 second. Now move player 2 forward into the next position in line. Reduce the skating speed to about 6 kilometers per hour so the player moves naturally into position instead of accelerating unrealistically over a short distance. For player 3, we'll use a slightly different method by first moving the starting time of his movement forward on the timeline. Then click Take so player 3 picks up the puck before moving into line. Then move him forward into line and adjust the final timing point until his skating speed is around 6 kilometers per hour. Let's preview the result. As player 1 leaves, players 2 and 3 smoothly move forward in line and stop, ready for their turn. Their movement looks natural, and the timing between each player is correctly synchronized. Now that player 2 has moved into position, it's time to create a short delay before he begins skating. Player 1 must first clear the blue line, so we'll use timing points to make player 2 wait. Add 2 timing points, then move the second timing point to the moment when player 1 crosses the blue line. Now create player 2's skating route. This time, we'll use a different passing sequence. Select Pass, click the coach, then continue player 2's skating route around the cone and into the passing lane. Player 2 reaches the passing lane at 16.73 seconds, but the coach receives the puck much earlier at 12.69 seconds. To keep the timing realistic, the coach needs to hold onto the puck until player 2 is in position to receive the pass. Select the coach, add 2 timing points after receiving the puck, then move the second timing point to the moment player 2 reaches the passing lane. Now complete the pass from the coach back to player 2. The puck arrives at exactly the right moment, allowing player 2 to continue skating naturally without changing speed. Continue player 2's skating route into the offensive zone. Select shoot, click the net, and finish the skating route beside the crease. Just like player 1, we'll have him pause before moving into a rebound position. Player 2 reaches the side of the net at 21.34 seconds. Add 2 timing points and move the second timing point about 1 second later to create a short pause. Next, select backward skating and move player 2 backward to the edge of the face-off circle. Reduce the skating speed to around 10 kilometers per hour to make the movement look more realistic. Now, let's prepare player 3 to move to the front of the line. His previous movement finishes at 4.66 seconds when he moves from third to second in line. Now we'll create his next movement. Add 2 timing points, then move the second timing point to when player 2 begins his skating route. Now draw player 3's route forward into the first position in line, then adjust the final timing point until his skating speed is around 6 kilometers per hour, creating a smooth and natural movement. Next, we'll create another delay before player 3 starts his rep. Add 2 more timing points and move the second timing point to when player 2 is approaching the blue line. Player 3 can now begin his skating route. This time he'll skate high and wide before making a long pass to the coach. Continue drawing his skating route down toward the blue line, where we'll begin setting up a 2-on-0. The coach receives the puck at 23.29 seconds, but we'll have him hold it briefly until player 3 gets into position. Select the coach, add 2 timing points, and move the second timing point so the coach releases the puck just before player 3 reaches the end of his skating route. Now complete the pass back to player 3. Player 3 now has possession and is ready for the next part of the drill. Now let's bring player 4 into the drill. After receiving the return pass, player 3 continues skating a little farther up the ice. This point occurs at 25.44 seconds, and we'll use it to position player 4 for the 2-on-0. Select player 4 and move his starting time to 22.3 seconds. Now draw his skating route so he finishes parallel with player 3. To check their positioning, select player 4's final timing point and drag it to see where player 3 is at each moment. Then, align it with the end of player 3's last skating movement. This makes it easy to line both players up side by side. Once their positions look correct, move player 4's starting time forward until his skating speed returns to the default 20 kilometers per hour. This keeps the same skating route while returning his skating speed to the default 20 kilometers per hour. Now, we'll create the pass between the two players. If player 3 passes the puck from his current position, player 4 would have to slow down to receive it. Instead, move player 4 slightly farther ahead so the pass leads him into open ice. This allows him to skate onto the puck naturally without changing speed. Now complete the pass from player 3 to player 4. If needed, make a small timing adjustment until the pass looks smooth and natural. Player 4 now becomes the puck carrier. Continue his skating route over the blue line. Next, continue skating with player 3. To prevent an offside, add a single timing point just before the blue line. Now adjust that timing point until player 4 enters the offensive zone before player 3. This slightly reduces player 3's skating speed while keeping the rest of the animation perfectly synchronized. Once both players are in the zone, move player 3 ahead of player 4 so he can receive the return pass. Complete the pass from player 4 to player 3. Player 3 now has possession again. Continue his skating route toward the net. Select shoot, click the net, and finish the skating route at the top of the crease. Then continue player 4's skating route to the front of the net. To finish the drill, we'll have players 1 and 2 leave their rebound positions and crash the net. Player 1 reaches his rebound position at 13.33 seconds. Add 2 timing points, then move the second timing point to the moment player 3 takes the shot. Now draw player 1's skating route to the side of the crease and reduce his skating speed to around 15 kilometers per hour to create a realistic rebound drive. Repeat the same process for player 2. Add 2 timing points and move the second timing point to just before player 1 begins driving to the net. Then draw player 2's route into the crease and reduce his skating speed slightly. Finally, let's preview the completed drill. Player 1 starts with a give and go, finishes with a slap shot, then backs into a rebound position. As player 1 clears the blue line, player 2 begins his rep, receives a perfectly timed return pass from the coach, shoots, and also moves into a rebound position. Finally, players 3 and 4 execute the 2-on-0. Using these timing techniques, you can create complex, realistic drills while keeping every player perfectly synchronized.